www.annualcreditreport.com. That's where you can get your free credit report on the 12-month rolling basis, and you can get it from all three credit bureaus: TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, right there. Now, I think it might have been last week or a week before last, I gave out all the addresses and everything for you to mail them if you wanted to. I'm not sure I gave out the telephone number for you to get your free credit report. So I'm going to give you the telephone number where you can call so you can get your free credit report as well. If you have limited or no internet access at all, you can get it by calling them at 877-322-8228. Again, it's 877-322-8228. You can get it there. All right, so I can't believe that it's almost it is halfway through the show already. So since we are halfway through the show, you know what that means. Oh, well, actually, let me step back. Some of the people don't know how the show works. So again, my name is Kevin King. I am the 800 Credit Score Man. I come on every Saturday at 1:30 Central Standard Time. I present a topic. To everybody that's something that's designed to give you some knowledge about the credit scoring system, or specifically to help you improve your credit score. Excuse me. Or specifically to help you improve your credit score. In the middle of the show, I do a question of the day. The question of the day comes from you. It comes from the listeners. So I need your help. Send me some questions. Send me questions. I will answer that question to you personally. However you send it to me, whether it's email or through Facebook or wherever, I'll answer that question to you, and I might use you on the show, and you'll become part of the family here at the 800 Credit Score Man Show. So it is time for the question of the day. Question of the day comes from Ron. He is out of Illinois, and the question of the day is actually sponsored. Question of the day is sponsored by Cute as a Cupcake, Cupcakery and Bake Shop, where the cupcakes are more than cute. They're delicious. You guys get on over to Cute as a Cupcake. It's located in Maryville, Indiana, 2008 West 81st. Again, that's 2008 West 81st in Maryville, Indiana. That is Cute as a Cupcake. And I'm going to tell you guys, last Saturday after the show, I was over in Indiana. I took a little detour from my little travels over there, and I stopped by Cute as a Cupcake and got a few cupcakes, me and my son, and they've got this cake in a jar. So I got the cake in the jar. I happen to like red velvet, so I got the red velvet cake in the jar, and it was absolutely delicious for real. So trust me when I say you need to get by Cute as a Cupcake over in Maryville. That's 2008 West 81st Street in Maryville, Indiana. So back to the question of the day. So the question of the day comes from Ron, and Ron says that I've been stuck around 700 for longer than a year. He's talking about his credit score, you guys. What can I do to improve my score? So that's a good question, Ron. I've had this question before, and several times people are just stuck in the same place. And so let me answer this for you. Well, first of all, without seeing your entire credit profile and all of those things, here are some suggestions that I have. One, use some credit. So, if you haven't used a dormant, I'm gonna call it dormant credit card in a while, it's got a zero balance and you just haven't used it for a while, then you should go ahead and use one of the credit cards. Now, I'm not trying to get anybody in additional debt, so I'm not telling you to go out and go crazy on Black Friday or anything of that nature, but I am saying that you should go ahead and use your credit card. Charge $50-$60 on your credit card, pay it over say 2 or 3 months, and your credit score should improve. I did this personally, and my credit score absolutely jumped 50 or 60 points. I actually did it twice. I did it twice in a row with 2 different credit cards that I hadn't used in 3 or 4 years. I actually decided to use them just so that the particular company wouldn't close my account, because that's going to negatively affect my credit score. And my credit score jumped, which basically made me become the 800 Credit Score Man. So that's one thing you can do. Use your credit. Now, this may even sound opposite of what I just said, but Also, if that's not one of your things, you can reduce your credit card balances. So reduce your credit card debt. If you are above 30% of whatever your limits are, then you need to definitely get down to 30% or less. That's where you want to be. That's really the sweet spot. That's where you'll get the most bang for your buck, if you will, when it comes down to your credit cards. So this does not include, if you have a car or student loans or things of that nature, but with your credit cards, if you get down to 30%, then your credit score should increase. And if you're at 30%, or say you're 25 to 30% of whatever your balances are, continue to pay off that debt. Continue to pay it off. The closer you get to zero, the better your credit score is going to be. And then, of course, you're going to be saving money because you won't be paying interest as well on higher amounts. A third thing I think you can probably do is to do not close any accounts. So, I just talked about, reducing your debt, things of that nature. Do not close any accounts. You may make it a plan, or have had a plan to reduce your debt, as far as credit cards are concerned, down to zero. Once you get there, do not pay off. Do not close those credit cards. Closing those credit cards only hurts your length of history, and your credit score will go down if you do that. And then I'm gonna say the fourth thing is that not to do is to do not open more accounts. So I talked a little bit about mix before. You need to have a good mix. You gotta have credit cards. You need to have an installment loan of some type, things of that nature. But do not open more accounts than you actually need. So don't go out and applying for credit if you really don't need it at all, because one, the inquiries will hurt your credit score only by a couple of points. But then also getting a new account, because I'm going to assume that you're going to get approved. Getting a new account is going to hurt your length of history as well. And then if you're charging things on it, then also it could hurt your credit card utilization that we just talked about before. So only apply for things that you absolutely need when it comes to that. And hopefully these things will help boost your credit score. Now, Black Friday is coming. And I know a lot of you guys are going to be out there, trying to get your gifts in and get stuff that you wanted all year and you haven't gotten, and you were waiting on Black Friday. I'm going to tell you this. Do not say yes to the lady at Kohl's, to the guy at JCPenney's, or wherever you happen to be shopping, at Target or Meijer or wherever, when they ask you, do you want to fill out for a credit card to get an additional 20% off? 20% off of a $20 item that used to be $80 is not worth you hurting your credit score. Now, I've told all of my clients, if you do anything, and I mean absolutely anything that has to do with your credit, you call me first. And I'm going to warn all of my clients that are listening to me right now, don't call me while you standing in line on Black Friday talking about they giving away an additional 25% off of this particular item. If it's not a car and you can get 25% off a car for signing up for something, then do not call me and ask me, should you get it? Because I'm going to tell you right now, no, you should not go ahead and do that. All right. So let's jump back into, Ron, thank you so very much. I appreciate you. Welcome to the 800 Credit Score Man family. Thank you so very much. I really do appreciate it. So let's jump back into this change that has come for us. Now, we talk a lot about disputes. What have we gone through? 1, 2, 3 items, I think. We talk a lot about disputes. Disputing items is one of the major things that you can do if you have something wrong on your credit report. So it makes it easier. This particular agreement makes it easier for you to dispute the items. I've talked about it plenty about all you have to do is click a button. And you go online and you just click a button. Your phone has internet access for most of us, or you got a computer at your house or a tablet or something. I mean, you can do this while you're sitting at the airport waiting on your plane to board. So all you got to do is click that button and make a dispute. It's really, really easy now for us to do it. So part of what they did was make the automation a lot easier for us all, so we can go ahead and do those disputes. But also within that, previously, I think I mentioned, they would put you in a bucket. So they put you in a bucket. If you had a dispute and you had an issue, they just go ahead and throw you in this bucket and say, this person's dispute kind of fits this one. And when they did that, your dispute should have been, maybe it should have been denied, or maybe it should have been approved. But oftentimes, you didn't get the benefit of the doubt. Now they've had to hire additional people, actual people, to take a look at it. So it's not automated, to look at your particular dispute. And so that's going to work out in your favor, I believe. I can imagine that they have some people working there now, and it's the holidays coming up, and people are using their vacation days and things of that nature, and maybe their workload is a lot. So maybe as a strategy, we talk about strategy all the time. When I do clients, all I do is strategy. I do strategy. So some of the things are straightforward by making a dispute, but as a strategy, maybe the month of November is a great time to go ahead and put a dispute in. Maybe they don't get to you. Maybe they don't finish their investigation in the 30 days. And so because they're short staffed or what have you. And maybe that works out in your favor. So I think I'm going to add that to my strategy list as well. All right. So let's jump to the next thing I want to talk about, because we are coming down toward the end of the show. So now also as well, if there is a lender that they say or they feel is not living up to the law for whatever it is. Now, this attorney general happens to pick on payday loans. So he picks on payday loans, or let me say he mentions payday loans. So the bureaus, the credit bureaus, are now prohibited from including those debts on your credit report. So that's something good for a lot of people. I saw a heartbreaking story of a man that, I don't know, he had a medical issue and had to be out of work, or his wife did or something of that nature, and he had to take care of her. And he got a $2,500 payday loan. Just $2,500 payday loan turned into $15,000. And, of course, he couldn't pay it. So that was an issue for him. Well, these kinds of loans, if they're if a company is working outside of the law, whatever that means for them, then they cannot be added onto your credit report, which of course will save you a lot of points, if you will, when it comes to your credit report. So let me get down to this last thing, and before I do, I want to give another shout out. I really want to say congratulations. I want to say congratulations to Valencia Frazier. She has a new book out. You guys go get this book. I'm sure it's available out there. Do a Google search. Go to Amazon or somewhere. Valencia Frazier is the author. Book is called Your Journey to Joy. So go check out Your Journey to Joy by Valencia Frazier. Congratulations to you on your release of the book. So let me get to this last one. We talked about medical debts before, so I said I'm not going to rehash that. But there are two things of note that I want to mention as well. So now with this agreement, they cannot place a medical debt on your report for 180 days. So this gives you some leeway. If you are, waiting for insurance to pay, or if there's a dispute about how much you should pay the doctor or what have you, or who should pay, if it's insurance or if it's Medicare or Medicaid, some people have one insurance one, and then when that one's full, then they go to insurance two. Then this gives you some leeway. So they cannot place any medical debt on your report for 180 days. So that's the one thing of note that I want to say about medical debts, besides what I talked about last week. And again, go back and check out that show from November the 12th. And then the second thing that I want to mention in regard to medical is that it also states that medical debts, and I'm quoting here, currently being paid off. Now, to me, that says if you are in agreement and making payments, even if your balance isn't zero, even if you owe something, but you have an agreement and you're actually making payments, then that item should not be on your credit report. Last week, I mentioned in this medical debt portion that once you pay it, then it's going to come off of your credit report like it was never there. You don't have to do a dispute. It won't have to stay on your credit report for 7 years. But this particular portion of it says that even if that